So I had this idea, and believe it or not, I'm second guessing it at this point, but I was thinking, why don't I try and make a car that's kind of like a stunt car, but also mildly resembles a skateboard, in order to try and replicate stunts that I'm gonna do in Skater XL. Yeah, I know, it sounds a little bit off. So I've got myself this 2020 station wagon here. I've called it this Skater. The only thing I'm really going to do to this, like, it doesn't need to be fancy because I'm just going to be doing stunts in the grid map in BeamNG, but I just want to make it relatively light, so I'm going partial aluminum, monocoque, light AHS steel, and then we're going to go for a transverse engine in the front, not my standard thing, and then multi-link on the back end. I'm going to whack up the quality on some of the components, because my goal is basically just to be able to keep this thing alive throughout a couple of different stunts. It's not necessarily going to be easy. Okay, down goes the stroke, up goes the bore. That means we should be able to get some high RPM. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Let's do dual overhead cam with 5 valves, aluminum head, and yeah, we don't need VVL. Forged internals, I'm going to go lightweight forged, just because I want to get some of that good RPM. My kind of basis for this is sort of like a Fiesta rally car type thing, although this is obviously a big sedan turned into a wagon. But let's go for a single race preset turbo right there, and injection as well. Only the finest quality components here, but I think this is going to work out just right. My goal is pretty much just like 600 horsepower, I mean half that, 300 horsepower. I'm not gonna go for 600, that's a little bit too much. Okay, with a little bit of help we can rev up significantly to 246 max horsepower, but as you can see the RPM limit is way up there, almost 9,000, 8,700. Let me see if I can do a bit better though. Now because I'm aiming for reliable power, I've kind of got it set up here for, oh, that's too big, but I've got it set up here just to get nice and late on the power there, but I've still got good stress. Everything here is fine. It's actually pretty efficient, surprisingly, but everything here, you know, I'm actually pretty pleased with this. Alright, and just like that, we're at an exact 300 horsepower, 300 newton meters of torque, and I'm going to turn down the RPM limit just a little bit. There you go, pretty high RPM limit for a car like this, but I think it's gonna fly. That's all I really care about. And yes, I do mean very literally fly. I'm gonna pick the 1995 wagon body here. I think this is supposed to be a Saab. I guess the flight heritage is gonna come in handy, but all I really want to do is just kind of widen it just a little bit to give it some stance. It's not really going to look like a skateboard at all. Let's be real honest here. On to paint. Okay, so pretty much all I need to do here, I think I'm going to make it two-tone just for the fun of it. I hardly ever make any cars two-tone these days. What if we go for like a gray? Oh, okay, we have to make the bumpers this same color, otherwise this is not going to work. But let's go like a gray plastic bottom end, and then something else on the top, kind of like an Outback or an Outback variant of something. This is going to be a very unique build, surprisingly so. I think I'm going to make this a touch darker just because it's not going to come out that good in BeamNG, I mean. But there you go. It's white and black. Okay, so in terms of styling, this one's going to be really simple. I don't want to do too much to it, so I'm just going to quickly rush through that, I think. It's not going to look like a Saab, not going to look like anything, to be honest. Let's just, oh. I kind of like this, actually. It's almost like a 90s Civic already. Okay, from this angle here, it may as well be a 1990 Honda Civic, or like a 1993, the bubble hatch. I really like it though, like, that look is timeless. Let's make it really smiley for no apparent reason at all. We'll just kind of throw that in there just like that. You know what, it's very happy to be here today. Very happy to be thrown off a cliff. While we're at this, we may as well give it a mildly modern look. I'm basically just throwing this one together, so it's gonna look a little bit off no matter what, but here we are. See, this is kind of the problem when I'm not really sure what I'm gonna make at the beginning of things. Like, this is a stunt car, but it's also kind of a skate car-ish thing. Kinda. Not really. It's hard to make a skateboard into a car unless there was a body for it. Hint hint, wink wink, modders. But yeah, obviously that's not something that I can do myself, so I can't be asking too much here. See, I thought about this when I was working today. I don't know why. I was just kind of like, hey, why don't I just try and make a stunt car, or try and make a car that just kind of looks like a skateboard roughly. And then I didn't really think about it after that. I was just like, okay, that's what I'll do. And now here we are with this. Alright, I actually like the front end. I basically just threw it together in under a minute, so I'm considering that to be pretty decent for what it is. Again, I don't want to do too much to this. I actually, if this is successful, then I'm going to try and do something else. Like, we'll try and go for a, I don't know, like a sport rally variant or something like that, and then we can try and take this on a rally stage. I was also thinking, and this is kind of dumb, but I also have, I've got F1 2020, and if this works out, combining automation, BeamNG, and some other third game together, then I'm going to do the same thing with F1 2020. Oh yeah, no, I'm full of great ideas this week. Alright, let's not forget the all-important fuel cap. Just gonna slap that lad right there. I've got door handles, wipers I should probably do, and then the whole back end, and that might be it. Nice and simple. Wipers just kind of give like a little extra layer of realism, so it's fun to do them, and I may as well do them for every build. There we go, that works for me, and now the back end. Okay, after designing a reasonable front end, then the biggest challenge is, how do I make it so that this whole piece here does not ruin what I just did? And that is always the greatest challenge. But I think the answer is, as you would suspect. It's got bubbles on the front, it needs some bubbles on the back, so it's gonna have these in some fashion. Okay, new idea with that. Flip them around and angle them up. Yeah. That makes sense. That's not even that bad. If this line would line up here, then that could just make total sense right there. That was such a weird looking car. Okay, you know what? I've decided that this doesn't quite make as much sense as I'd hoped. So I'm going to flip these around again, and then again, and then again, and then probably again after that. And maybe something like this? It looks like it's crying. Oh no, there it is. That's what I needed right there. Flipping them around this way, I can have the lines line up just like that, and it looks kind of reasonable instead of just weird like before. Brilliant. Okay, now I just need to put a plate on there, exhaust, cry a few tears, you know. Okay, I whipped this up in like 5 seconds, but I think what I need to do before I forget, back wiper is kind of important on a wagon. I remember my old Subaru, the Impreza wagon that I used to have, had a back wiper, and my goodness, it was nice. I actually really miss that on my Infinity. Weird, I know, but it's just the small things. And then I probably need some exhaust. Now this car is 300 horsepower, like that's, I mean that's a lot of power. So I'm just gonna put this piece on here and I think that'll be fine. Okay, never mind, I'm using one of the mod exhausts. I just find that they always work a little bit nicer. Just a little bit better for what I'm going for. Alright, it's pretty simple. It's not particularly complicated. It looks mildly like a Honda Civic. I mean, I guess that's not a bad thing. I mean, they sold a lot of those cars, right? Okay, I think I'm good, at least in terms of design. So all-wheel drive, we'll just give it a manual for ease of use, 5 speeds, because again, ease of use. Apparently 300 kilometers an hour is where it thinks it can go. We have no graphs yet, so we can't be sure. Let's give it a manual locker. Bit strange, but it should work out for us so that I can like modify the differentials on it. Then we'll move over to wheels, semi-slicks. We want to have some grip. Not too much grip though, 255 is probably a bit big. But 235s all around look pretty darn good to me. Just gotta get them into those wide fenders. Okay, maybe not that far in there. 17-inch rims, that always look good. I'm a big fan of 17s. I think that's pretty much the perfect size, to be honest. Maybe just for me. Alloy wheels though. And then brakes. Okay, what I want to do here in terms of under tray, I don't think this actually does much, but I'm going to give it an off-road skid tray. We'll increase the brake airflow just a little bit. And interior, I don't know, we'll just have it like this. Sport interior, basic, standard infotainment. It doesn't need to be realistic, does it? Okay, suspension is pretty darn important. I'm just gonna go for the like most basic stuff that I can get. Wow, okay. Fun premium, apparently very high. I was not thinking that this would happen, but quickly, race preset, and it totally ruined it. There we go, back into sport preset. That's kind of where this thing wants to be. Pretty cool though. I mean, it's just a very basic wagon with really ugly taillights and yeah, a front end that is a little bit too happy. Okay, it's tempting to go with no ride height because, I mean, who doesn't love a slammed wagon, but I'm actually just going to raise it up just a little bit because otherwise we're not going to be able to clear these bumps quite as well as I'd like. The suspension quality is going to go all the way up, which is going to hurt this as well because it's now gotten a lot more expensive. Don't worry about that though, it's okay. Back over to the drivetrain, and our top speed is estimated down a little bit now. It seems like 285 or 288.5 is our area. Not gonna get much better than that. Seems like that's the perfect spot. Okay, so I have the springs on the front end as pretty darn tight just because I wanted to come crashing down and actually like land it. That's sort of my idea here. This is going to be really, really strange. By the way, I should probably name the engine. Looks like this car is ready to go. This is going to be really fun, by the way, I think. So we're going to transition over to Skater XL, then we're going to do some stunts, then we're going to try and recreate them in Beam. I don't know if that's going to work at all, but I'll give it my best. 1,509 kilos on this car, that's not bad. It's actually pretty light for a car like this, but with a turbo inline 4 and 300 horsepower, we should be able to rip pretty good anyways. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a pretty decent car. Well, let's go. So this is Skate XL. This is the game I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So I was given a key to this game, by the way, I should say, and I was trying to think of ways to incorporate it into the channel. And I mean, skateboarding games are not really, I don't know, they don't necessarily fit with what I'm going with, but I kind of like this game. I really do like the older Tony Hawk games, and I mean, none of them have been as good as some of the classics, but this brings back some memories of those games, although with much more modern controls. Runs on the Unity engine, so it's got better graphics, all that kind of stuff. And hey, I mean, it's pretty darn good. I gotta say that from the perspective of somebody who hasn't played any skateboarding games for a long time. So the basic gist of things is that I want to try and do a couple stunts in this, and then I'm going to immediately go into Beam and then try to do those two. So it's going to be one stunt here, one stunt there. You'll be seeing it that way. That's not how I'm going to record it, but that's how it's going to be shown. So what I have to do is keep in mind what's in the grid map already. Like, there aren't any real grinding points in the grid map. I can try, but I don't think that's really gonna work for the car. So we're gonna try some stuff. We'll try a few simple little tricks, and then we'll get into some harder things, and we'll see if the car can survive. I'm guessing it probably can't. But just to give you an idea of what's going on in this game, basically I'm just holding down the A button, and I can jump up, try and do an ollie or something. I'm not good at this game at all. I literally have half an hour, actually probably less in it. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so the first stunt that I can think of is pretty darn simple. Well, first thing we can do, I guess, is just kind of roll around, but why don't we just jump over something? Like, just jump off of these stairs. That seems like a pretty easy task. Just like that. I think that car can do it, hopefully. Okay, lockable diffs actually makes this car able to climb basically anything. I was not anticipating this at all, but here we are. My goodness. We got an off-roader here. And then going off the stairs, just like that. Boom. She's still strong. Okay, the next idea that I had was just kind of jump up high on something. So if we hit a ramp and jump high, then there you go. And again. Boom. Alright, smaller jumps are not too difficult. Pretty sure I can hit jumps like these without any issues. Never mind. Second time's the charm. Right here, I got this one. Just gotta go nice and slow. I was able to do this pretty well with the Covet on that challenge. You know what? It went for a couple, and it's still going. I mean, realistically speaking, there you go. Complete. Okay, secondary idea that I had here. Why don't I jump up on top of a taxi, which is also a Prius. A really low res Prius, unfortunately. So this game is a sandbox game because I can just kind of roll around freely like I'm doing right now. I can just kind of jump down to these tennis courts if I wanted to. and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I don't think there are any tennis courts in the grid map, but weaving in and out of things is definitely possible. Watch me do a slalom here. Let me see if I can't just slalom my way over to that big ramp. Stay in second gear, maybe? Oh, that was close. Oh, that was really... Oh, yeah, no, that was dead on. Oh yeah, if you want to see me play more of this, just let me know. I'm definitely down to. Maybe for a stream or something, I try and figure out some tricks. It's not easy to get a hang of these controls, though. Okay, so jumping over stuff is cool. Jumping onto things is cool. Yeah, and we might need to try jumping onto something as well, see if that works. Just jump up on here, fail tremendously. Okay, this is my second attempt here. Let me see if I can do it a little bit better. Up and on, and then off again, then over, kinda. Yeah, that works. And you know what, while I'm here I may as well take the ramps on this end, just because that makes total sense. I'm gonna try and hit both, and yeah, that was a pretty good flip there. Oh, it actually landed on its feet for a second. Okay, somebody has a Bentley at this high school. That's nice. A little bit too nice maybe for a high school. Oh yeah, there are more maps than this, by the way. We're gonna be moving around a little bit. Right, so I had this grand idea that maybe it would be a good idea for me to jump off of this gigantic ramp just for fun, because you know what, I can totally do that in Beam as well. So here we go. Here goes nothing. We're going for it. It's way over there. Oh, that's high. Come on down. And once more. Up we go. Apparently I'm a high flyer now. Oh, that actually turned out really nice. I didn't die. Alright, here it comes. Here it comes. You know I can do this. Let's just see if it survives, though. That's the real test. And yeah, I think it lived. I mean, I lost pretty much every exterior fixture, but hey, it's still looking good. Okay, I think I can do this in automation as well, where I kind of stop myself and twist around on ramps like this. Maybe, just maybe, I can go up like that. Oh, grinding the thing, that's not really what I meant, but then kind of turn around and come back. That's kind of what I was trying to do there. I should probably actually use the turning ability instead of just my front foot. Just like this. There we go. Spin around there. We can do that. Alright, we can probably bob and weave our way over to the half pipe. That's kind of where I want to go next. Thinking about just kind of driving up the side, if you know what I'm saying. Just drive up here. Twist around, easy. Oh yeah, no, this car has this with the grip. And then I might be able to fly over the edge as well. And is it gonna live? No? Yes. Yes, it has lived. Yes, it has. Okay, wow. That was brilliant. Alright, I've switched to downtown LA, and I was thinking... Oh, come on there. Come on now, run into the wall, there you go. I have not been on this map before, but it does look to be pretty, well, there's a lot going on. Anyway, there's a giant triangle here. This kind of looks like the BeamNG symbol, so what if we just try to jump off that? Okay, obviously I think I've determined that it's pretty limited what I can do. It's unfortunate because, yeah. I mean, crashing is always an option, right? I could just crash into stuff. Jumping downstairs is, I mean, pretty much my limit in terms of what I can do in this game so far. I can't grind, can't really skate well. I can go forwards. I mean, I can do this, I can ollie. I can do this and spin. Flip kick, or whatever, heel flip. Man, I'm hip. You know, something I have not thought about while I was making this so far is how the heck am I going to remember everything that I did in this in order to be able to do it in Beam. Like, man, I didn't really think this through. Alright, final little session here. Let's try and do something at least mildly creative. I mean, jumping stairs is, yeah, jumping stairs, but maybe I can go for a big grind. Oh, yeah, that counts. Basically what this game is, when you boil it down, is it's a, like, sandbox style skateboarding game. Really open to mods as well. I think that's really where the community shines with this. It's cool that it's finally come out after being in early access for a couple of years, and yeah, I'm just happy to relive some nostalgia from the Tony Hawk days here. Overall though, I've enjoyed my time with this game, and I'm wondering what you guys think about this sort of blend of things. It's a little bit messy at first, obviously, because I mean, skateboarding slash cars not completely related unless we're talking about grabbing cars in those older games, but I can probably try and swing this in a couple other ways as well in terms of this series and sort of bringing it together into something. I know that most people tend to just watch the BeamNG automation videos, so I figure if I'd kind of mix them with other games too, it would be interesting to see what people think about that. Anyways, mostly just the theme this time. Next time, if I do end up doing F1, we'll try and make something that can compete with an F1 car, and then we'll set lap times and compare the two between the two games. So yeah, gonna be pretty sweet, hopefully. Gotta be honest, this car actually drives really well, just overall. Pretty impressed with it. I'm thankful that it's a simple design, so it's easier to tune. I think if anything, the gearing could be a little bit shorter, but the car itself, pretty decent. As you can see, just kind of driving around here, I don't really know if I missed anything. Hopefully I got all of the relevant stunts. Obviously I'm going to see when I edit this, but yeah. Needless to say, I think this idea was a bit of a failure, and it doesn't really translate that well. Skateboard car, fail. Next time, I don't know, hopefully a success. I'm not going to have 100% success every time. I think the Karen Commander is a bit of an example of something that's just good no matter what at this point, but other things, yeah, I don't know. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of it. And if you're interested in this kind of content, or content where it's just BeamNG automation, be sure to subscribe. I'll be continuing to make these videos in the future. Maybe not ones that are 3 games, maybe just 2 like usual, but you never know, I might mix it up every once in a while. It's fun to challenge myself. It's also nerve-wracking because I don't know if I'm just wasting my time by making this, but here we are anyways. And yeah, I'm still having fun, so that's really all that matters. I've got some people that I want to thank, specifically Overlord, That Right Stood Explorer, QT Bear, Terry Williams, The Most Random Person, SigD Cars and Stuff, Boris Ramirez, Chug, and Jacob. Thank you all you guys. Thank you all you guys. I'm losing it. I'm done. Oh man, see you guys next time.